getting some breaking updates where India has now issued the latest advisory asking its nationals not to move to border checkposts without prior coordination with the government of India and embassy officials via the helpline numbers as well. Now we see the repeated efforts by the Indian agencies, Indian government to make sure that the Indian citizens in Ukraine, where the entire crisis is underway, are safely evacuated, and now an advisory that has been issued by the Embassy of India to not let the nationals of India move towards checkpoints without prior coordination. For more on this, let me go across to my colleague Samiksha, who's joining us from the Mumbai newsroom. Samiksha, take it away now. We have seen there are repeated efforts by the Indian agencies to make sure that our nationals there are safe. Now in the latest, an advisory that has been issued by the Indian Embassy.
Well, that's right. So the latest advisory has now been issued by the Indian Embassy in Kyiv. Let me quickly read out this advisory. Also remember, at least 16,000 students, Indian nationals, are still stuck in Ukraine, and the Indian government making an all-out effort to repatriate all these Indian nationals. So the advisory says that all Indian citizens in Ukraine are advised to not move to any of the border posts without prior coordination with Government of India officials. At the border posts, helpline numbers have also been established, and the emergency numbers of Embassy of India Kyiv. The situation at various border checkpoints is sensitive, and the embassy is working continuously with our embassies in our neighboring countries for coordinated evacuation of our citizens. So remember, this comes in the backdrop of a lot of explosions that are continuously taking place in Kyiv and Kharkiv regions. The embassy, it goes on to say that the embassy is finding it increasingly difficult to help the crossing of those Indian nationals who reach border checkpoints without prior intimidation. Remember, a lot of bunkers have also been established for all those presently residing in these border areas of Kharkiv and Kyiv. It goes on to say that please note, staying in western cities of Ukraine with access of water, food, accommodation and basic amenities is relatively safer and advisable compared to reaching border checkposts without being fully abreast of the situation. All those currently in the eastern sector are requested to continue to remain in their current places of residences until further instructions. Maintain calm and stay indoors. This is something which was reiterated by the Kyiv advisor as well to all the residents in Kyiv region to stay indoors, not to venture out, and in shelters as much as possible with whatever food, water, amenities available, and remain patient, avoid unnecessary movement. So of course the underlying point here is to remain indoors, not to move out, and to not go out in those border checkpoint areas. Back to you.
Well, yes, Samiksha, a very important advisory that has now been issued by the Embassy of India, where they have asked the Indian nationals to not move without any prior coordination with the Government of India, and the repeated efforts by the Indian agencies to make sure that our nationals there are safe as well. Samiksha, for the moment, thank you.